Hello, everybody. My name is Jeff McCourt. I'd like to thank you for following along, traveling with Jeffro in my Alaska Bound series. This series of videos, I want to document my work up here in my off-grid summer job in Alaska. Right here was the main problem I had all year was mosquitoes, and I always had to keep a mosquito net going. But yeah, this series of videos, I want to discuss some of the work I did, and I know it was a hard summer of work. I didn't have much fun up here. I'm not going to lie; it was all business, and yeah, let's get started on some of the things I did at the Wilderness Place Lodge at the Pioneer Cabin as my management duties in the backcountry of Lake Creek, Alaska. The first chores that I had was cleaning and organizing the three cabins that I was managing this summer. The squirrels, as you can tell, they did a number on this place in the wintertime. They didn't really have another place to go, and it gets absolutely cold, frigid up here. I'm about 60 miles from Denali National Park, so I guess these squirrels didn't have many places to go, so they absolutely tore anything and everything they could get a hold of to eat. And so what I did, like most cleaning jobs you get, is I pull it all out, and I get it all organized, and I throw everything I can away, and I get started over. This other cabin I got is the guide cabin. It's the one I slept in for the summer. And one of my jobs I had here is to clean and organize it, get it all they mostly used it for a storage building, I guess, this winter whenever everybody left. And then Jason, the boss, he come in. He built this cabin in 4 days, like some of my previous videos have discussed, and he didn't have time to put insulation in because he's real busy and all run this business. But yeah, they wanted me to come in, clean it up, put some insulation in, get all the junk out, throw it all away, and burn what I can. That's exactly what I did. As you can tell here, mostly just a storage building, and it was just that right there. We had no insulation in the roof. So I come in behind them, put the insulation up, and then I would put the vapor lock bags, as you can tell, just over that and staple it all in. And moving on to another chore that I had up here in the back corner was making a mountain bike trail. This Alaska Adventure Company is like a second part of the Wilderness Place Lodge's business they have going on. These lines here, they want a mountain bike trail going up through here, so this summer I've been working on trying to put a mountain bike trail in. What you're looking there is a Cyrus 690 mountain bike. It's a 77-pound mountain bike, and it's a really good bike. But anyways, yeah, I had to, it's about a mile into what I needed to go, and some of the roughest country I've ever worked in and ever seen. I'm from out East Kentucky. Yeah, the country there is also rough, you know. But it was nothing like this. It was like you'd mow it one day, weed eat it one day, and the next day it's just overrun with. I'm not the next day, about 3 days in. You better get back to weed eating and spraying because you lose it. But yeah, this country is so rough and rugged, and I'm trying to get this trail mountain bike passable. Of course, I had that big tree there. I would have to go in and cut it with a chainsaw. So just a lot of work, but. And then here I am getting ready to go up on this ridge top, and it cuts on back to a lake. But I'm gonna be quiet here and watch me weed eat a little bit. As you can tell, my gear for weed eating is a long sleeve jacket, a hat, ear protection, eye protection, and a mosquito net, and also my Glock 45. And bear spray. Of course, my bladed weed eater. That is everyday work that I would have to take every day because the bears up here are just absolutely terrible. There's been rumors flying around that this is the worst bear year ever because the bears don't have anything to eat in the woods. Look out through there. I mean, you can only eat so much grass and salad, basically, you know. And yeah, I was just scared to death of bear all summer. They always got my trash. They always come on my porch, and I always seen them. And I'm from Kentucky. I don't really see that many bears, but yeah, you always have to be bear weary out here. But this is the mountain bike trail that I had to make. That was one of my job chores this summer, and it's kind of what it would look like toward the end. And yeah, I got it passable, at least for about a half a mile or so. And here's some of the adventure stuff I got to do this summer: ride the boats and the bike, and Another chore that I'd had to do this summer would be cutting some firewood. I actually enjoy cutting firewood. It's one of my favorite things to do while I was up here for exercise. And my goal was to bust every bit of that wood you just seen, and I'm about to get it done. So, yeah, you'd store it under there and let it season real good for the next year. But property management would be another work chore that I would do. I would use a rotary lawnmower. Here I am right here. The brand of this lawnmower is an American Rotary. This is the first lawn mowing of the year. But anyways, I ended up having to lift that lawnmower up, and so it would cut better. It was the first lawnmower of the year, and it was really just too low. So I really enjoy doing cutting that grass like that. It makes it look pretty after you get it raked and all the thatch out of it. So I'll get you some pictures here shortly of some of the lawn mowing that what it looked like here at the very end. But yeah, if you notice I have that bear spray on me. Like I said, I'm always armed up here. I don't know if I'm over excited or just nervous, but I did not want to come out here getting hurt by a stinking bear. I can tell you that, just because they're hungry. They probably eat this short fat guy, because I'm no longer the top of the food chain. There's a bear around, I can assure you. But yeah, if you're interested in one of these lawnmowers, check them out. They're American rotary lawnmowers. The next work chore that I would do is the sawmill. Me and Dennis would come up. Dennis, he's 70 years old. He's strong as an ox and can absolutely do anything. He brought me up here this summer and trained me on how to do this sawmill. This is a Hudson sawmill, Hudson Homesteader sawmill, 21-inch, I think it is. Yeah, I'd really like to have one of these at the house, because if you had the land and you had the trees on the land, it would pay for itself. Heck, these boards are 1 inch thick, 8 feet long, or 10 feet long, 16 feet long, however you want to cut them. And they run $18, $20 up here, and that's not including shipping them in if you go to Home Depot. So if you've got property like these gentlemen do that own the lodge here, this is the best thing going, because it would. They ain't got anything. It's a free board lumber whenever we get them started cutting up. This is one of the first ones we cut. We don't even have the lumber piled up yet, but yeah, the sawmill is a lot of fun for me, and it makes beautiful lumber. I love to smell that fresh wood. You'll see it here in just a second. Like I said, it's a Hudson Homesteader. Look at that pretty lumber. It's birch. Look how pretty that is right off the sawmill. It took us 2 days to set it up, and it's going to stay up there all summer long and all winter, I'm sure, until they store it. But here's some more examples of the wood. So all you got to do is kind of just, once you get that cut and you flip it over, you square it up, it pinches it in, it works fine, works beautifully. But yeah, that's one of my chores this summer. Another laundry by hand. Everything I did up here was hard. It was work, and I was off grid all summer, didn't have a laundry machine, so I ordered the kind laundry sheets. I put it in 5-gallon buckets, and I went to scrub them by hand and laid her out to dry. That's another one of the working things I did. The next one is the bears. The bears were the hardest part for me. Well, mosquitoes were, but the bears were next. I just stayed nervous all the time. This guy right here come on my porch, and he's a big 4 to 5 year old male bear, and I had to run him out one night with my underwear and a shotgun, and they always got my trash. They tore the trash up, so I ended up having to fly all the trash out to Anchorage on the plane. But I put this on my porch, keep the big Ted off my porch. There he is. But yeah, just try to keep him off my porch, putting some nails in there. I ain't seen him since I scared him off and put that up. But they'd absolutely make a mess, and it made me nervous, so I ended up having to fly the trash off to Anchorage on the float planes. But daily weather reports is another one of my job duties here. It's usually just cloudy and calm. I'm kind of at an elevation of about 2,200 square feet, and that was usually my weather report, so they give them a safe land, so they can safely fly in here. Greeting guests was a part of my job. They'd fly in from Russ Flyer, from Wilderness Place Lodge. They'd come in, and I'd welcome them off the plane. I'd have to tie this plane up to the dock, and say, hey, welcome to the Pioneer, Alaska, Pioneer cabin. But the mosquitoes were the hardest part for me, and it absolutely made my summer miserable. I hate mosquitoes. I had to wear mosquito nets all summer long, all mosquitoes on my bed. This is a tennis game you play with mosquitoes. Yeah, that bug zapping was real rewarding. These mosquitoes cools work great. And as you can tell, I'm telling you, I wore this. This is part of my attire every day, glasses and mosquito nets. But it's hard work. It's not very much fun up here. I didn't have really fun summer. I've just worked hard. But going to the bathroom was work. In outhouse conditions, it's you just got to think about this pioneer lifestyle before you want to live it. It's always outside. This one's about 100 yards from Pioneer, but from the cabin I'm staying in, I got to walk all the way down the hill to get to it, and it's kind of in the rain or whatever if I was to have an emergency. But yeah, just going to the bathroom is hard work out here in Alaska, and it's just stuff you need to think about if you ever decide to come out. Taking a shower. This is a shower system that's set up on a generator that activates a pump from the lake. You have to put the hot water heater on, and it turns on, the shower. But I'll be honest with you, it's too much work. I just jumped in the lake most of the time and washed off. And the last chore that I had to do is housekeeping. I had to keep everything lined up and looking good for the glamping guests that always flown here. I always wanted to look good, and I try my best to make the beds and keep the sheets clean and to keep the floors clean and just make the Pioneer cabin a nice place to visit. Here it is mowed, like I said, looking pretty. The yard is looking a lot better than it was earlier. This is another cabin I had clean, but nobody stayed in it. Here's me next to the Pioneer with a full stack of wood. Here's what the view would look like when the customers would come in, get off that dock, and I'd have the smoke rolling and have everything going. The kayaks and canoes are part of the venture company adventure that they could choose to do here. Another pretty view of Pioneer Lake in Alaska. So, I just want to kind of document what I did this summer, keep it, maybe one day I can look back on this. Or if anybody's interested in coming up here and working, just consider all the hard, how hard it is. And it's definitely not an easy lifestyle, but it's a trip that I'll never forget. And I've learned so much this summer. But anyways, I'd like to thank you for watching my Alaska Bound series, and thank you for keeping up with me on my workload. Thank you.